Are you all right, Mr. Fromm?
Yes, babe. Yes.
Everyone in the office has gone home. It's after 6. Mr. Frank, what's the use of torturing yourself like this?
I've come to say goodbye. I'm leaving.
What do you need? Where are you going? Where?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Mr. Frank, you can't leave here. This is your home. Amsterdam is your home. Your business is here waiting for you. You're needed here now that the war is over.
I can't stay in Amsterdam, me. There are too many memories. Everywhere. There's something. The house we lived in, the school, the street organ playing out there. I am not the person you used to know me. I'm a bitter old man. Forgive me. I shouldn't speak to you like this. Not after what you went through. You and Mr. Crawler, the suffering.
No, it wasn't suffering. You can't say that we suffered.
I know what you went through. You and Mr. Crawler. I'll remember it as long as I live. Come, me.
Mr. Frank, did you see? We found some of your papers. They were in a heap of rubbish in the floor after you left.
Burn them.
Oh, but Mr. Frank, there are letters, notes.
Burn them. All of them.
Burn this?
Mom's diary. Monday, the 6th of July, 1942. 1942. Can it be me? Only 3 years? Dear Diary, since you and I are going to be great friends, I will start by telling you about myself. My name is Anne Frank. I am 13 years old. I was born in Germany on the 12th of June, 1929. As my family is Jewish, we emigrated to Holland when Hitler came to power.
My father started a business importing spice and herbs. Things went well for us until 1940. Then the war came and the Dutch defeat, followed by the arrival of the Germans. Then things got very bad for the Jews. You could not do this and you could not do that. They forced Father out of his business. We had to wear yellow stars. I had to turn in my bike. I couldn't go to a Dutch school anymore. I couldn't go to the movies or ride in an automobile or even on a streetcar and a million other things. But somehow we children still managed to have fun. Yesterday, Father told me we were going into hiding. Where, he wouldn't say. At 5 o'clock this morning, Mother woke me and told me to hurry and get dressed. I was to put on as many clothes as I could. It would look too suspicious if we walked along carrying suitcases. It wasn't until we were on our way that I learned where we were going. Our hiding place was to be upstairs in the building where Father used to have his business. 3 others were coming in with us, the Von Dons and their son Peter. Father knew the Von Dons, but we had never met them.
Just know it.
Oh, now, Carly, they can't be as fast as...
Mr. Frank said they would be here at 7 o'clock. He said...
They have 2 miles to walk. You can't expect them to be here without any...
They've been taken. That's what's happened. They've been picked up.
Oh, see?
Mrs. Fondant, Mr. Fondant, and there were so many green police on the streets. We had to take the long way around. My wife, Edith. Mr. Fondant, Mrs. Fondant. Their son, Peter. My daughters, Margot and Anne.
I'm sorry, there's still so much confusion.
Please, don't think of it. We'll have plenty of leisure later to settle things ourselves.
We put the stores of food you sent here. Your drugs are here. Soap and linen over there. Thank you, me. And I made up the beds the way Mr. Frank and Mr. Caller said. Forgive me, I have to hurry. I have to go to the other side of town to get ration books for you.
Ration books? If they see our names on ration books, they'll know we're here.
Oh, there's
Don't
nothing to worry.
Your names won't be on them. I'll be up later.
It's illegal then, the ration books. We've never done anything illegal.
We won't exactly be living according to regulations here.
This is not the black market, Mrs. Frank. This is what we call the white market, helping all those hundreds and hundreds who are hiding out in Amsterdam.
It's the Vestertoren!
I must go. I must be downstairs and in my office before the workmen get here. Meep or I, or both of us, will be up here every day to bring you food and news and find out what your needs are. Tomorrow I will get a better bolt for the door at the bottom of the stairs, one that you can throw and open only at our signal. Oh, you'll tell them about the noise?
I'll tell them.
Goodbye then. I'll be back up after the workmen leave.
Goodbye, Mr. Crowley.
How can we thank you?
Oh, I never thought that I would see the day that a man like Mr. Frank would have to go into hiding.
What did he mean about the noise?
First, let's take off some of these clothes.
I think it's a wonder that we weren't picked up ourselves. What with Petronella with her fur coat in the middle of July, and Peter with his cat meowing the whole way.
On! It's all right. I've got on 3 more.
Now, about the noise. When the workmen are in the building below, we must have complete quiet. Every sound can be heard down there, and not only in the workroom, but in the offices as well. The men arrive at about 8:30 in the morning and leave at about 5:30, so to be perfectly safe, from 8 in the morning until 6 in the evening, we must move only when it is necessary, and then with stockinged feet. We may not talk above a whisper, we cannot run any water, we can't use the sink or even, forgive me, the water closet. The pipes go down through the workroom. It would be heard. No trash must be thrown out that No trash must be thrown out that might reveal that there's someone living here, not even a potato paring. We must burn everything in the stove at night. This is the way we are to live, if we are to survive.
So it's over.
After 6, we can move about, we can talk and laugh and play games and read, just like we would at home. And now, I think it would be best if before 8 we all went to our rooms and were settled. Mr. and Mrs. Fondant, your room will be upstairs. Sorry that there's no space up there for Peter, but he will be here near us. And this is our common room. This is where we will gather to read and have our supper, like one family.
And where will you and Mrs. Frank sleep?
This room is also our bedroom.
No, that's not
It's
right.
your place.
You take the room upstairs and we'll sleep down here.
Please, I've thought this over for weeks. This is the best arrangement, the only arrangement.
Never can we thank you. I don't know what would have happened to us if it hadn't been for Mr. Frank.
Please, you don't know how your husband helped me. When I first came to this country, knowing no one, unable to speak the language, no, I can never repay him for that. Let me help you with these things.
Oh, no.
Come along, Leafy.
You'll be all right, Peter. You're not afraid.
Please, Father. Edith, you too must get some rest. You didn't close your eyes once last night. Nor you, Margot.
I slept, Father. Wasn't that funny? I knew it was my last night in my own bed, yet I slept soundly.
I'm glad. Now, you can help me in here. Here, come and rest in this room.
You're sure? I can help, really, and Anne hasn't had her milk.
I'll give it to you. On and Peter, I believe it would be best if you to take your shoes off now, before you forget.
You're sure you're not tired, Anne?
I feel fine. I'm going to help Father.
Peter, I'm glad you are to be with us.
Yes, Mrs. Frank.
What's your cat's name?
Mushy.
Mushy? Mushy. I love cats. I have one, a darling little cat, but they made me leave her behind. I left some food and a note for the neighbors to take care of her. I'm going to miss her terribly. What is yours, him or her?
He's a Tom. He doesn't like strangers.
Well, I'll have to stop being a stranger then, won't I? Is he fixed?
Huh?
Did you have him fixed?
No.
Well, you ought to have him fixed to keep him from fighting. Where did you go to school?
Jewish secondary.
But that's where Margot and I go. I never saw you around.
I used to see you sometimes.
You did?
You were always in the schoolyard in the middle of a bunch of kids.
Well, why didn't you ever come over?
I'm sort of a lone wolf.
What are you doing?
Taking it off.
You can't do that. They'll arrest you if you go without your star.
Who's going out?
Why, of course. You're right. Of course we don't need them. I wonder what our friends will think when we don't show up for school today.
I didn't have any dates with anyone.
Oh, I did. I had a date with Yopi to go play ping pong at her house. Do you know Yopi DeVal?
No.
Yopi's my best friend. I wonder what she'll think when she telephones and there's no answer. Probably she'll go over to the house. I wonder what she'll think. We left everything as if we'd suddenly been called away. Breakfast dishes in the sink, beds not made, and... Look, it's still there. What are you going to do with yours?
Burn it.
It's funny. I can't throw mine away. I don't know why.
You can't throw something they branded you with? Something they made you wear so they could spit on you?
I know, but after all, it is the Star of David, isn't it?
Maybe it's different for a girl.
Forgive me, Painter. Now let us see. We must find a bed for your cat. I'm glad you brought your cat. Aunt was feeling so badly about hers. Will he be comfortable in that?
Thanks.
Are you hungry?
No.
We have bread and butter.
No, thank you.
You can have it for lunch then. And then tonight we will have our first supper together.
Thanks.
Thanks. That's a good boy, Peter.
He's awfully shy, isn't he?
Oh, you like him, I know.
I certainly hope so, since he's the only boy I'm likely to see for months and months.
There's a box there. You open it.
You know the way I'm going to think of it here? I'm going to think of it as a boarding house. A very peculiar summer boarding house. Like that one that we once went. Mother! Mother, my movie stars! I wondered where they were. And Queen Wilhelmina, how wonderful!
There's something more. Keep looking.
A diary. Oh, I've never had a diary before, and I've always longed for one. Pencil. I'm going down to the office to get a pencil.
Dawn, no.
But there's no one in the building now.
Doesn't matter. You must never go beyond that door, Dawn.
Never? Not even at nighttime when everyone's gone, or even on Sundays. Can't I go down and listen to the radio?
Never. I'm sorry, Dawn. It isn't safe. I don't ever want you to go beyond that door.
I see.
It'll be hard. I know. But remember, there are no walls, no bolts, no doors that anyone can put on your mind. Meep will bring us books. We'll read poetry, history, mythology. Here's your In fact, I think between us that being here has certain advantages for you. For instance, you remember the other day, that battle you had with your mother on the subject of overshoes. You said you would rather die than wear overshoes. But in the end, you had to wear them. Well, you see here, as long as we're here, you will never have to wear them. And that coat that you inherited from Margot, you won't have to wear that. Nor the piano. You do not have to practice the piano as long as we're here. You see, Aunt, it's going to be a fine life for you.
I thought that I ought to get some water for Moochie before we...
Of course.
I expect I should be describing what it feels like to go into hiding, but I don't really know yet myself. I only know it's funny never to be able to go outdoors, never to breathe fresh air, never to run and shout and jump. It's the silence in the night that frightens me the most. Every time I hear a creak in the house or a step on the street outside, I'm sure they're coming for us. The days aren't so bad. At least we know that Meep and Mr. Crawler are down there below us in the office. Our protectors, we call them. I asked Father what would happen to them if the Nazis found out they were hiding us. Tim said that they would suffer the same fate that we would. Imagine! They know this, and yet when they come up here, they're always cheerful and gay as if there were nothing in the world to bother them. Friday, the 21st of August, 1942. Today I'm going to tell you our general news. Mother is unbearable. She insists on treating me like a baby, which I loathe. Otherwise, things are going better. The weather is.
It's safe. The last workman has left.
Lee! I'm first to the water closet.
6 o'clock. School's over.
Have you seen my shoes?
Your shoes?
You've taken them, haven't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're gonna be sorry.
Am I? On!
Well, wait till I get you!
I'm waiting on. No! Peter, stop! Stop! Peter! Peter, where are you going? Come dance with me. Come on.
I tell you, I don't know how.
I'll teach you.
I'm going in to give Mushi his dinner.
Can I watch?
He doesn't like people around while he eats.
Peter, please.
No.
But what if On, dear, I don't think you should play like that with Pager. It is not dignified. Who cares about dignified? I don't want to be dignified. You complain that I don't treat you like a grown-up, but when I do, you resent it. All I want is some fun. Someone to laugh and clown with. Once you've sat still all day, you've got to have some fun. I don't know what's the matter with that boy.
He isn't used to girls. Give him some time.
Time? Is it 2 months' time? I could cry. Hey, come on, Margot. Dance with me. Come on, please.
I have to help with supper.
Oh, we're going to forget how to dance, you know? By the time we get out of here, we won't remember a thing.
Next. Where's Peter?
Where would he be?
He hasn't finished his lessons, has he? His father will kill him if he catches him in there with that cat and his work not done. Get him out of here, please.
Peter,
What is it?
your mother says to come out.
I'm giving Mushi his dinner.
You know what your father says.
For heaven's sake, I haven't even looked at him since lunch.
I'm just telling you, that's all.
I'll feed him.
I don't want you in here.
Hater.
Then give him his dinner and come right out of here.
Is that any way to talk to your little girlfriend?
Mother, for heaven's sake.
Oh, look
Will
at
you
him
please stop saying that?
blush. Look at him.
I'm not, anyway, let it alone, will you?
He acts like it's something to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be ashamed of to have a little girlfriend.
You're crazy. She's only 13.
So, and you're 16. That's just perfect. Your father's 10 years older than I am. I warn you, Mr. Frog. If this war lasts much longer, you and I are going to be related.
Mazel tov.
I wonder where Meep is. She's usually so prompt. Good evening, everyone. Forgive me if I don't stay. I have a friend waiting for me in there. His name's Tom. Tom Cat. Some say we look alike, but Tom has the most beautiful whiskers, and I only have a little fuss. I am hoping in time that one day
All right, Mrs. Quack Quack.
Peter.
I heard about you. How you used to talk so much in class, and they called you Mrs. Quack Quack. How Mr. Schmitter made you write a composition. Quack Quack, said Mrs. Quack.
Well, go on. Tell them the rest. Tell them how it was so good, he read it out loud to the class, and then read it to all his other classes.
Quack Quack Quack. Quack Quack Quack.
You are the most intolerable, insufferable boy I've ever met.
That's right. You give it to him, Monica.
Out of all the boys in the world, why I had to get locked up with you?
And from now on, stay out of my room.
fever, have you?
No.
No? Annika, don't do that. You know we can't call a doctor here ever. There's only one thing to do. Watch carefully. Prevent an illness before it comes. Now let me see your tongue.
Mother, this is perfectly absurd.
Such a baby on. Let me see your tongue. Otto,
On, you hear your mother.
come on. Open up. Well, you seem all right, but perhaps an aspirin.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, don't give that child any pills. I waited for 15 minutes this morning for her to come out of the water closet.
Who's washing my hair?
I think there's nothing wrong with our aunt that a ride on her bike or a visit with Yogi Duvall can cure. Isn't that so?
Meek is here?
The workman only left a little while ago.
What's for dinner?
Bees.
Not again.
Oh, I know. Poor Pootie. It's all meat brought us. What can we do?
We are now in what is known as the bean cycle. Beans boiled, beans on casserole, beans with strings, beans without strings.
You in there! Don't think I can't see what you're doing. Playing with your cat.
He's only been in there a second. He
Huh.
put his coat away. He's been out here all the time doing his lessons.
On. You got a very good in Latin and an excellent in your history paper.
How about algebra?
Well, I have a little confession. Up until this point, I've managed to stay ahead of you. Today, you caught up with me. We'll leave it for Margot to correct.
Isn't algebra vile, Kim?
Vile.
How did I do?
Excellent, 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 excellent.
You should have used the subjunctive here.
Should I? I thought the look here, I didn't use one here.
Mrs. Von Dunn, may I try on your coat?
No on.
Oh, I don't mind. But be careful with it. My father gave me this coat the year before he died. He always bought the best that money could buy.
Mrs. Von Dunn, did you have a lot of boyfriends before you were married?
On, that's a personal question. It's not courteous to ask personal questions.
Oh, it's okay. There were always boys streaming around our house. And one summer when I was a
God,
girl...
not again.
Oh, shut up. One summer we had a big house in Hilversum, and the boys came buzzing around like bees around a jam pot. My father used to worry about me with so many boys hanging around. We were wearing our skirts very short in those days, and I had good-looking legs. I still got them. I may not be as pretty as I used to be, but I've still got my legs. How about it, Mr. Frank?
All right. We see your legs.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking Mr. Frank.
Mother, for heaven's sake.
Oh, I embarrass you, do I? Well, I can only hope that the girl you marry has as good. My father, when he worried about me, would tell me that if any of the boys tried to get fresh, you say to him, "Remember, Mr. So-and-so, remember, I'm a lady."
Remember, Mr. So-and-so, remember, I'm a lady.
Look at you talking to her like that. You know she writes it all down in her diary.
Oh, so what if she does? I'm only telling the truth.
Would you mind, teacher, if I moved you over to the couch?
Meat must have the radio on.
Are you not done yet?
No?
Ought to be ashamed of yourself.
All right. I'm done. Some hopeless case. Why do I go on?
Oh, you're not hopeless. It's just that you haven't had anyone to help you like the girls have. Maybe Mr. Frank can help you.
Well, I'm sure his father would much rather.
Oh, no. He won't listen to me. I can't do a thing with him. You're welcome to try if you want.
Well, what do you say, Peter? Shall we make our school co-educational?
Oh, you're an angel, Mr. Frank. An angel. Here, sit down. Now, Peter, you come over here and you listen
I think it might be better if we go into Peter's room.
That's right. You go in there, Pater, and you pay attention to Mr. Frank. Mr. Frank is a highly educated man.
Shh! I can hear a man's voice talking.
Isn't it bad enough around here without you sprawling all over the place?
You wouldn't be so bad-tempered if you didn't smoke all the time.
Am I smoking? Do you see me smoking?
Don't tell me you've smoked up all the cigarettes
All the
already.
cigarettes. One package. Meep only brought me one package.
It's a filthy habit anyway. It's a good time for you to break the habit.
Would you get off my back already?
You're smoking up all our money. You know that, don't you?
Just shut up already. And you, what are you looking at?
I've never seen two grown-ups quarrel before. I thought only children quarrel.
This is not a quarrel. This is a discussion. I never saw children so rude before.
I'm rude. On, bring me my knitting. I must remember when Meep comes to ask her to bring me more wool. I need some hairpins and some soap. I made a list. Have you some library books for Meep when she comes? It's a wonder that Meep has a life of her own the way we make her run errands for us. Please, Meep, get me some starch. Please, Meep.
Take my hair out and have it cut.
Tell me all the latest news, Meep. Did you know she was engaged? His name is Dirk, and she's so afraid that he's going to be swept up and shipped off to one of the war queens.
Do you ever stop talking? Haven't you considered just keeping your mouth shut for 5 minutes? Just 5 minutes.
Come here on, finish your glass of milk.
Talk. That's all you ever do. I've never seen a child so...
What are you looking for?
For my pipe. Have you seen my pipe?
What good's a pipe? You haven't got any tobacco.
Well, at least I'll have something to hold in my mouth. Margot! Have you seen my pipe?
It was on the table last night.
I know. On, have you seen my pipe? On!
On, Mr. Von Don is speaking to you. Am I allowed to talk now?
Ah! Oh, the aggravating... You know what your problem is, young lady? You are spoiled. What you need is good old-fashioned spanking.
Remember, Mr. So-and-so. Remember, I'm a lady.
Why can't you be nice and quiet like your sister Margot? Why do you have to show off all the time? I've got news for you, young lady. Men don't like that kind of thing. You know that? A man likes a woman who will listen to him from time to time. A domestic girl who will keep her home clean and sparkling for her husband. A girl who loves to sew and to cook. And
I cut my throat first. I split my veins. I'm going to be remarkable. I'm going to be living in Paris.
Oh, Paris.
I'm going to study music and art.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be a famous dancer or singer or something wonderful.
Oh my God! Look what you've done, my precious coat! That my father bought me? Now look what you've done. Just look at it! Do you know how much this coat costs?
I'm so sorry.
It's not yours, so go ahead, ruin it. What do you care?
I'm really very, very sorry.
No, I could just kill you for this. I could just kill you.
Petronella, come back. Leave here, come back. Supper. Die.
You mustn't behave in that way. It was an accident. Anyone can have an accident. No, I don't mean that. I mean the answering back. You must not answer back. They are our guests, and we must always treat them with the greatest of courtesy. We're all living under terrible tension. That's why we must control ourselves. You don't hear Margot getting into arguments with them, do you? Watch Margot. She's always courteous with them, never familiar. She keeps her distance, and they respect her for it. Try to be like Margot. Have them walk all over me? No thanks. I'm not afraid anyone's gonna walk all over me, Mom. I'm afraid for other people, that you'll walk on them. I don't know what happens to you, Mon. You're wild, self-willed. If I had ever spoke to my mother the way that you speak to me,
People don't like that anymore. People don't do that. Yes, mother. No, mother. Anything you say, mother. I've got to make things for myself. I've got to fight things out for myself.
it isn't necessary to fight to do it. Margot doesn't fight, and she just...
Margot! Everything she does is right, and everything I do is wrong. Margot is so good. Why aren't you more like Margot?
Come on, don't be so...
Everything she does is right, and everything I do is wrong. I'm the goat around here. You're all against me, and you worst of all.
So put the soup on the stove if there's anyone who cares to eat. Margot, would you pull the bread out? I don't know how much longer we can go on living this way. I can't say one word to Anne. She flies at me. You know Anne, in half an hour she'll be out here laughing and joking. I told your father, but no. He owed it to him, he said. He had to ask him, he said. But now he knows I was right. These quarrels, this bickering. Shh. I'm in here. Let's stop. My heart stops. It's me. Father?
Thank you, Margot. Has everyone his list?
I'll get my book. Here's your list. Meep's here.
Is that me?
Yes, and Father's gone down to let her in.
Oh, and last on some cigarettes.
I can't tell you how unhappy I am about Mrs. Von Don's coat. Aunt should have never touched it.
Oh, she'll be fine.
Is there anything I can do?
Oh, no need to worry. Everything will be okay.
Mr. Crawler!
How do you do, Mr. Crawler?
This is a surprise. When Mr. Crawler comes, the sun begins to shine.
Meep is coming?
Not tonight.
Would you like a cup of coffee, or better still, would you like to have supper with us?
No, thanks.
There is something urgent that Mr. Crawler says concerns us. Something we need to discuss.
What is it?
Usually, when I come up here, I try to bring you a little bit of good news. What's the use of bringing you bad news if there's nothing you can do about it? But today, something has happened. Dirk, Meep's Dirk, came to me just now. He says he has a Jewish friend who lives near him, a dentist. He says he's in trouble. He begged me, could I help this man out? Could I find a hiding place for him? So I come to you. I know it's a terrible thing to ask of you, living as you are, but could you take him in with you?
Of course.
Oh, it'll only be for a night or two, until I can find another place. This happened so suddenly, I didn't know where to turn.
Where is he?
Downstairs in the office.
Good. Bring him up.
His name is Dussel. Jan Dussel.
I think I know him.
I'll get him.
Forgive me. I spoke without consulting you, but I knew you'd feel as I do.
Oh, who's to consult? This is your place. You have the final say. My one concern is, we're all so hungry as it is. And another mouth to feed?
We can stretch the food. It's only for a few days.
Huh! I want to make a bet?
I think it's fine to have him, but Otto, where are we going to put him? Where?
He can have my bed. I'll sleep on the floor. I wouldn't mind.
That's good of you, Peter, but your room is too small, even for you.
I have a better idea. I could come in here with you and Mother, and Margot can go in Peter's room, and Peter and Mr. Dussel can take our room.
Yeah, that's right. We could do that.
No, Margot. Neither you nor Anne should stay in that room. Mushi has caught some rats. It wouldn't be safe. Peter is brave. He doesn't mind.
Then how about this? I'll come in here with you and Mother, and Mr. Dussel can have my bed.
No. Margot can come in here with us, and he can have her bed. It is the only way. Margot, bring your things in here. Help her on.
Why Margot? Why can't I come in here?
Because it wouldn't be proper for Margot to sleep with... Please, Anne, don't argue, please.
Anne, you don't mind sharing your room with Mr. Dussel, do you?
No, of course not.
Good. Where's the cognac?
It's there, but Otto, I was saving in case of an illness.
I think there's no better occasion than this. Peter, you get for me 7 glasses.
What's happening? What's going on?
Someone is moving in. in with us.
In here? You're joking.
It's only for a night or two until Mr. Crawler finds him another place.
Yeah. Oh. Come in, Mr. Deuce.
Oh, this is Mr. Frank.
Mr. Otto Frank. Yes. Let me take you through this. My wife, Edith. Mr. and Mrs. Fondant. Their son, Peter. And my daughters, Margot and Anna.
Thank you, Mr. Frank. Thank you all. Mr. Dussel, I leave you in good hands. Oh, Dirk's coat.
What can I say to thank you?
Oh, me and Mr. Crawler, they're a lifeline. Without them, we couldn't live.
Oh, please. You make us sound so heroic. It's not like that at all. We simply do not like the Nazis. We don't like their methods. We don't like anything about them.
I know. No one's gonna tell us Dutchmen what to do with our damn Jews.
Oh, pay no attention to Mr. Frank. I will be back late tomorrow and make sure they're treating me right. Oh, and don't bother coming down again. Pedro will bolt the door behind me, won't you, Pedro?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Major. I'll
All right. Good night, Ben. Good night.
Bring cigarettes.
Bye. See you tomorrow. Please, Mr. Dussel, sit down.
I'm dreaming, I know it. Mr. Otto Frank here. You're not in Switzerland then. A woman told me she'd gone to your house. The door was open, everything in disorder, dishes in the sink. She said she'd found a piece of paper in a wastebasket with an address scribbled on it. An address in Zurich. She said she thought you'd escaped to Zurich.
Father left that there purposely just so people would think that very thing.
And you've been here all this time.
All this time, ever since July. It worked, Pimp. The address you left, people believe we escaped to Switzerland.
Oh, I'm glad. Here, now let's have a toast to welcome Mr. Dussel. To Mr. Dussel, welcome. It is an honor to have you.
And to Mr. Dussel, welcome.
That's good.
Did Mr. Crawler warn you that wouldn't be likely to get much food around here? After all, we only have 3 ration bills to take care of the 7 of us. And now you make 8. Mr. Fondant, you don't understand what's happening outside. That you should question me about a thing like that. You don't understand what's going on. Every day, hundreds of Jews disappear right here in Amsterdam. They surround the block and search house by house. Children come home from school to find their parents gone. Hundreds have been deported. People that you and I know. The Hallensteins, the Wessels.
No.
They send a call-up notice. Come to the Jewish theater on such and such day and hour. Bring only what you can pack in a rucksack. And if you refuse the call-up notice, they come to your house and drag you from your home and ship you off to Mauthausen, the death camp.
I had no idea it had gotten so much worse.
I'm sorry for speaking so.
Do you know the Duvals? Do you know what's become of them? Their daughter, Yofi, and I. We were in the same class. Yofi is my best friend.
They're gone,
Oh, God.
along with all the others.
There were some people called Wagner. They lived near us.
I think we should put this all off till later. I know we have many questions, but I'm sure that Mr. Dussel would like to get settled.
I would. Thank you. I brought very little with me.
I'm sorry that we can't give you a room by yourself, but we've had to make strict rules around here, a schedule of hours. We'll talk after supper. Will you please show Mr. Dussel to his room?
You'll come with me, Mr. Dussel.
Forgive me if I haven't expressed my gratitude to all of you. This has all come as such a shock to me. I've I've always considered myself to be Dutch. I was born in Holland. My father was born in Holland, and my grandfather. Now, after all these years, if you'll excuse me.
Well, here we are. The news sounds pretty bad, doesn't it? So different from the way that Mr. Crowler tells it. Mr. Crowler says that things are improving.
From the way that Mr. Crawler puts it.
We're going to be sharing the room with me.
I'm a man who's never had to adapt myself to living with others. I hope you will bear with me while I learn.
Let me help you. Have you always lived alone? Have you no family at all?
No one.
How dreadful. You must be terribly lonely.
I'm used to it.
I don't think I could ever get used to it. Didn't you even have a pet, a cat or a dog?
Oh, no. I'm allergic to fur-bearing animals. They give me asthma.
Oh dear. Peter has a cat.
Here? He has it here?
Yes, but we hardly ever see it. He keeps it in his room all the time. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Let's hope so.
This is Margot's bed, where you're going to sleep. I sleep on the shakes there.
Okay.
The best part about this room is you can look out and you can see a little bit of the street and the canal. You can see a little bit of the houseboat. A bargeman lives there with his family. He just had a baby. Well, he's just beginning to walk. I'm so afraid that one day he's going to fall in.
Your father spoke of a schedule.
Oh, yes. It's mostly about times we have to be quiet and times for the water closet. You can use it now if you like.
No, thank you.
I suppose you think it's awful, like talking about a thing like that. But you don't know how important it can get to be, especially when you're frightened. About this room, the way Margot and I had it, she had it in the afternoons for things like studying, reading, lessons, and I took it in the mornings. Would that be all right with you?
I'm not at my best in the morning.
You stay here in the mornings, then I'll take the room in the afternoon.
Tell me, when you're in here, where am I spending my time? In there with all the people?
Yes?
I see.
We have supper at 6:30.
Oh, well, in that case, if you don't mind, I like to lie down for 10 minutes before eating. I find it aids the digestion.
Of course. I hope I'm not going to be too much of a bother to you. I seem to be able to get everyone's back.
Oh, don't worry. I get on very well with children. My patients all bring their children to me because I get on so well with them. So don't you worry about that.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dussel.
And yesterday I finished Sissy Van Marksvel's latest book. I think she is a first-class writer. I shall definitely let my children read her. Monday, the 21st of September, 1942. Mr. Dussel and I had another battle yesterday. Yes, Mr. Dussel. According to him, nothing, I repeat, nothing is right about me. My appearance, my character, my manners. While he was going on at me, I thought sometime I'll give you such a smack that you'll fly right up to the ceiling. Why is it that every grown-up thinks he knows the way to bring up children, particularly the grown-ups that never had any? I keep wishing Peter was a girl instead of a boy. Then I would have someone to talk to. Margot's a darling, but she takes everything too seriously. To pause for a moment on the subject of Mrs. Von Don, I must tell you that her attempts to flirt with Father are getting her nowhere. Pim, thank goodness, won't play.
Save me! No, don't!
Shush! Anne, for God's sake, shush! Anne, quiet! Quiet, you want someone to hear?
Hush, darling, kind enough to turn on the light, Mr. Doomsday? It's nothing, my darling. It was just a dream.
Mrs. Frank, something must be done about that child. Screaming out like that. She's endangering all our lives.
On, darling, little on.
Oh, every night, tossing and turning, I don't sleep. I spend half my night shushing her. And now it's nightmares.
I'm safe here, you see? Nothing has happened. Please, Mr. Dussel, go back to bed. She'll be herself in a minute or two. Won't you, on?
If it's all the same to you, I'm going to the water closet. The only place where there's any peace.
What is it? What's happened?
Nightmares. She's having nightmares.
I thought someone was murdering her.
Unfortunately, no.
Thank you, Peter. Go back to bed.
Would you like a glass of water? Was it a bad dream? Perhaps if you told me. Rather not talk about it. Poor darling. Try to sleep then. I'll sit here right next to you until you fall asleep. I'd rather you didn't. But I'd like to stay with you very much, really. You don't have to. Good night, then. You'll be all right? There's nothing that you want? Will you please ask Father to come? Of course, son, dear. He wants you.
Edith.
It's all right. I thank God. At least she'll turn to you when she needs comfort. Go to her, Autumn. She's still shaking with fear. Go to her. She wants nothing of me. She pulled away when I leaned down to kiss her. It's a phase. You heard Father. Most girls go through it at this age. They give all their love to their fathers. You weren't like this. You didn't shut me out. She'll get over it. I dreamed that they came to get us. The green police. They broke down the door and they grabbed me and they dragged me out the same way they did Yogi.
Here. I want you to take this medicine.
What is it?
It's something to quiet your mind. Do you want me to read to you for a little while?
No, just sit with me for a minute. Was I awful? Did I yell terribly loud? Do you think anyone outside could have heard?
No. Lie back. Quiet. Try and rest.
I'm a terrible coward. I'm so disappointed in myself. I think I'm really grown up. I think I've conquered my fear. And then something happens and I run to you like a baby. I love you, Father. I don't love anyone but you.
Anna Lynn.
I've been thinking about it for a long time. It's true. You're the only one that I love.
It is fine to hear you say that you love me, but I would be much happier if you said you loved your mother as well. She needs your help so much. She needs your love.
We have nothing in common. She doesn't understand me. Whenever I try and explain my views on life to her, she asks me if I'm constipated.
You hurt her very much just now. She's crying. She's in there crying.
I can't help it. I only told the truth. I don't want her in here. Oh, Pamela was terrible, wasn't I? And the worst of it is I can stand off and look at myself doing it and know it's cruel, and yet I can't stop doing it. What's the matter with me? Tell me. Don't say it's just a phase. Help me.
There is so little that we parents can do to help our children. We can only point you in the direction, show you the way. The rest, you must do yourself. You must build your own character.
I'm trying. Really, I am. Every night before I go to sleep, I think back over all the things I did that day that were wrong. Like putting the wet mop in Mr. Dussel's bed and this thing now with Mother. I say to myself, that was wrong. I think I'm never going to do that again. Never. Of
course, I may do something that's worse, but at least I'll never do that again. I have a nicer side, Father. A sweeter, nicer side, but I'm scared to show it. I'm afraid that people are going to laugh at me if I'm serious. So the mean on comes on the outside, and the good on stays on the inside, and I keep trying to switch them around and be what I'd like to be, and might be if only.
The air raids are getting worse. They come over day and night. The noise is terrifying. Pim says it should be music to our ears. The more planes, the sooner will come the end of the war. Mrs. Von Don pretends to be a fatalist. What will be, will be. But when the planes come over, who's the most frightened? No one else but Petronella. Monday, the 9th of November, 1942. Wonderful news! The Allies have landed in Africa. Pim says that we can look for an early finish to the war. Just for fun, he asked each of us what was the first thing we wanted to do when we got out of here. Mrs. Von Don longs to be home with her own things. Her needlepoint chairs, the Bechstein piano her father gave her, the best that money could buy. Peter would like to go to a movie. Mr. Dussel wants to get back to his dentist drill. He's afraid he is losing his touch. For myself, there are so many things. To ride a bike again, to laugh till my belly aches, to have new clothes from the skin out, to have a hot tub filled to overflowing and wallow in it for hours, to be back in school with my friends.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshenu b'mitzvotav, mitzivanu lahadlik ner shel Hanukkah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asah nesim la'avitenu, ba'amim ha'em ba'atzman hatzeh. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'shiyanu v'kimanu v'kiyanu la'atzman hatzeh. We kindle the Hanukkah light to celebrate the great and wonderful deeds wrought through the zeal with which God filled the hearts of the heroic Maccabees 2,000 years ago. They fought against indifference, against tyranny and oppression. They restored our temple to us. May these lights remind us that we should ever look to God, whence cometh our help. Amen.
Amen.
I lift up mine eyes into the mountains, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. He that keepeth Israel doth neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall keep thee from all evil. He shall keep thy soul. The Lord shall guard thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and forevermore. Amen.
Amen. Well, that was very moving.
It isn't over yet.
Sit down, sit down.
There's lots more songs and presents.
Presents.
Not this year, unfortunately.
But every year on Hanukkah, everybody gets presents.
Like our St. Nicholas Day.
Oh, not like St. Nicholas Day. What kind of Jew are you that you don't know Hanukkah?
I particularly remember the candles. First one, as we have tonight. Then on the second night, you light 2 candles. Then on the third night, 3. And so on until you have 8 candles burning. When there are 8, it is truly beautiful.
The potato candle.
Oh, don't talk about that. Oh.
I make the best latkes you ever tasted.
Invite us all next year in your own home.
God willing.
God willing.
What I remember best is the presents that we used to get when we were little. 8 days of presents, and each day they got better and better.
enough.
No, it isn't. I've got something.
What is it?
Presents!
Present?
Oh, L'chaim!
Liam!
Hurry, hurry.
What has she got on her head?
A lampshade.
Oh dear, they're every which way. This is for Margot. Go ahead, read it out loud.
Okay. You've never lost your temper. You never will, I fear. You are so good, but if you should put all your crosswords here, a new crossword puzzle, log on. Wherever did you get it?
It's not new, it's one you've done before. But I rubbed it all out, and so if you wait a little and forget, you can do it all over again.
It's wonderful, On. You'd never know it wasn't new.
Mrs. Von Don.
Oh, this is awful. I haven't anything for anyone. I never thought.
This is all On's idea.
Go ahead.
What is it?
Oh, it's hair shampoo. I took all the odds and ends of soap and I mixed them with the last of my toilet water.
Oh, thank you, Annika.
I wanted to write a poem for all of them, but I didn't have time. Yours, Mr. Von Don, is really something. Something you want more than anything.
Oh.
Go on and put it. Look, cigarettes!
Ah! Cigarettes!
2 of them! Pip found some pipe tobacco in the pocket lining of his coat, and we made them. Or rather, Pim did.
Well, let's see, Pootie. Light it! Light it, Pootie!
They're real. There's a little fluff in them, but not much.
Wait, words.
Will you look at that?
For
Thank
mother.
you, Aunt. Thank you.
Oh, Hanukkah greeting. Oh.
Finish them later.
Here's an IOU that I promise to pay. 10 hours of doing whatever you say, signed on Frank. Oh.
10 hours of doing anything you were told. Anything?
That's right.
Wouldn't want to sell that, would you, Miss Frank?
Never. This is the most precious gift I've ever had.
For Pim.
Hanukkah. I wasn't supposed to have a present.
It's a muffler to wear around your neck like an ascot, you know? I knitted it in the dark each night after I'd gone to bed. I'm afraid it looks better in the dark.
Oh, it's fine. It fits me perfectly. Thank you, Aunt.
That's for Mushi.
On behalf of Mushi, I thank you.
And this is for you, from Mrs. Quack Quack. Well, go on. Aren't you going to open it?
I'm scared too. I know something's gonna jump out and hit me.
Oh, it's nothing like that, really.
Open it up, take it out. What is it?
It's a razor.
A what?
You didn't make that out of odds and ends.
It's not new. It's secondhand. Meep got it for me. But you really do need a razor now.
For what?
Look on his upper lip. You can see the beginning of a mustache.
Oh! Well, if he wants to get rid of that, let's just put a little milk on there and let that stupid cat lick it off.
Oh, God, think you're funny, don't you?
Look, he can't wait to try it. He's going now.
I'm going to give Mushi his present.
Oh, Mooshy, Mooshy, Mooshy.
And last but never least, my roommate, Mr. T.
For me? You have a present for me? Oh. Capsules. 2 capsules.
They're earplugs.
What?
I saw them advertised in a magazine. They aren't real ones. They're made out of cotton candle wax. But I thought you could use them so you won't hear me when I thrash around at night. Go ahead, try them out. See if you can't hear me when I talk.
Oh, let me get him in here.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Huh?
Are you ready?
Oh, for God's sakes.
Oh, are you okay?
It's gone all the way in. Thank you very much, Alban.
I love
A
my
real
cousin.
Hanukkah.
Wasn't that cute of her?
And now for the song, Father. Have you heard the song, Mr. Dussel? The Hanukkah song is the whole thing.
I'm afraid, we shouldn't sing the song. It's a song of jubilation. One is apt to become too enthusiastic.
Please, I promise I won't shout.
All right. Quietly, though. And if you get too loud, then we'll have to put a stop to it.
You! How many times have I told you? Get that cat out of here!
What's the matter with you? Have you taken leave of your senses? Get that cat out of here!
Cat?
You heard me. Get it out of here.
I have no cat. Oh, it doesn't have to be the cat. His clothes are bad enough when he comes out of that room.
Oh, don't you worry about it. We're going to get rid of it.
Finally, you listen to me.
This has nothing to do with you. Don't get it all twisted. I'm tired of seeing that cat eat all our food.
That's not true. I only give him bones, scraps.
Well, don't tell me. That cat looks better than any of us. Out he goes tonight.
No.
Mr. Bondon, you can't do that. That's Pater's cat. Pater loves that cat. On.
If he goes, I go.
Oh, go. Go on.
You're not going anywhere, and neither is the cat. This is Hanukkah. Hanukkah! This is the time to celebrate. What's the matter with all of you? Come on. Let's have that song.
Oh, Hanukkah.
I think first we should blow out the candles. That way we'll have something for tomorrow.
But Father, you're supposed to let them burn themselves out.
I'm sure that God understands shortages. We thank thee, O Lord our God, for allowing us to celebrate this joyous festival. Amen.
Do you hear it?
No, I think they've gone.
It's the Green Police. I know it.
If it were the Green Police, they would be up here by now. They wouldn't have left.
It's the Green Police. They've gone to get help. They'll be back.
Or we could stop them looking for papers. Or a thief looking for money.
Somebody do something. Do something.
There's nothing to do.
Quick.
Get some water. Please get some water.
No!
Nobody's drinking any water.
If they found us, they found us. Get the water. Going down.
Father, wait, the interpreter could be somebody there waiting.
This is Saturday. There's no way for us to know what has happened until me or Mr. Crawler come on Monday. We cannot live with this uncertainty.
Please, Father, don't go.
Hush, darling, hush. Margaret, stay close to me.
Shush.
Our money. Where's our money, Martin? Go upstairs and get our money. I've heard you can buy the Green Police off. So much ahead. Go and get our money.
Be still.
Do you want to wait here and just be dragged off to a concentration camp?
Will you?
Do you?
Will you
I want
please?
help.
Be still.
Someone please go get Father.
I'll go.
Haven't you done enough?
Mr. Bondon, please go get Father.
Quiet.
I lift mine eyes into the mountains from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to move. He that lead us.
It wasn't. That noise must have scared him away. He left in such a hurry that the door was swinging wide open. I think it would be good to have some light.
Are you sure it's all right?
Yes, the danger has passed. Oh, don't look so terrified. We are safe.
Who says the danger has passed? Don't you see we're in more danger than ever before?
So will you be still?
Thanks to this clumsy fool, there's someone out there who knows that we're up here. There's someone who knows we're up here hiding now.
Someone knows we're here, yes. But who is that someone? A thief. A thief. Do you think a thief is going to go up to the Green Police and say, the other night I was robbing a place and I heard a noise up over my head? Do you think a thief is going to do that?
I think he will.
Crazy.
I think one of these days he will be caught, and he will make a bargain with the Green Police, and he will get off free.
He's right.
Father, let's go. We can't stay here now. Please, let's go.
Go? Where?
Yes, swear.
Have we lost all faith, all courage? A moment ago, we thought it was the end. We were sure they'd come for us. It wasn't the end. We are safe. We thank thee, O Lord our God, for in thy infinite mercy, once again, sparing us. Come, on, the song. The song, everyone.
Sweet celebration
around
Saturday, the 1st of January, 1944. Another new year has begun and we find ourselves still in our hiding place. We've been here now for 1 year, 5 months, and 25 days. It seems that our life is at a standstill. We are all a little thinner, and the Von Don's discussions are as violent as ever. Mother still does not understand me, but then I don't understand her either. There is one great change, however, a change in myself. I read somewhere that girls of my age don't feel quite certain of themselves, that they become quiet within and begin to think of the miracle that is taking place in their bodies. I think that what is happening to me is so wonderful. Not only what can be seen, but what is taking place inside. Each time it has happened, I have a feeling that I have a sweet secret. And in spite of my pain, I long for the time when I shall feel that secret within me again.
It's me!
Wake up, everyone! Meep is here! Oh, Meep and Mr. Crawler, what a delightful surprise!
We came to bring you New Year's greetings.
Oh, you shouldn't have. You should at least have one day to yourselves.
Don't say that. It's so wonderful to see them. Oh, I can smell the wind and the cold on your clothes.
There you are. How are you, Margot? Feeling any better?
I'm all right. We stuffed her full of every kind of pill so she won't cough and make a noise.
Well, hello, me, Mr. Crawler.
With my hope for peace in the new year.
Meep, have you seen Mushi? Have you seen him anywhere around?
I'm sorry, Peter. I asked everyone in the neighborhood had they seen a gray cat, but they said no.
Look what Meep has brought for us.
Oh, a cake!
A cake! I'm gonna get some plates.
Thank you, Meepia. You shouldn't have done it. You must have used all your sugar rations for weeks. It is beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, a cake! It's been ages since I even saw a cake. Since this time last year, actually. Remember you brought one on New Year's Day, just this time last year. I'll never forget it because it said peace in 1943. Peace in 1944.
Well, it has to come sometime, you know? Hello, Mr.
The knife, leave you. Now, how many are in your cake?
None for me, thank you.
No, please, you must.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, good. So that makes 1, 2, 7, 8. 8. It's the same as it always is. Well, I took it for granted that Margot wouldn't want any.
Why wouldn't she?
I don't think it'll harm her.
Oh, well, all right. 8. I just didn't want her to start coughing, is all. And please, Mrs. Frank should cut the cake.
It's not
see
Mrs.
any
Frank's
difference.
cake, is it, me? This cake is for all of us.
Mrs. Frank divides things better. Oh, come
What are
on,
you
stop
trying to
wasting
say? Don't I always give everyone exactly the same amount? Don't I?
Yes. Everyone always gets exactly the same. Except Mr. Von Don always gets just a little bit more. That's a lie!
Please! Divides it eat, please. You see what a little sugar cake does to us. It goes right to our heads.
Mrs. Frank, the knife.
Thank you. Are you sure you won't have some? Oh, no, really. I have to go in a minute.
Meep, maybe Mushi went back to our house. They say that cats, well, do you ever get over there? I mean, do you suppose you could?
I'll try, Peter. The first minute I get, I'll try. But I'm afraid with him gone a week.
Make up your mind already. Somebody's had a good supper from that cat.
Oh, this looks delicious, me.
Delicious.
Oh, but Derek is lucky to have such a baker in the family.
Well, I have to run. Dirk's taking me to a party tonight.
Oh, Heavenly, now you have to remember what you wear and what you have to eat and everything so you can tell us about it tomorrow.
I'll give you a full report. Goodbye, everyone.
Oh,
Goodbye.
wait one moment. I have something I want to ask of you.
Woody, where are are you going? Hootie, what are you going to do? Hootie!
What's wrong?
Oh, Father's trying to sell her fur coat. She's crazy about that old fur coat.
Is it possible? Is it possible that anyone could be so silly over a thing like a fur coat at a time like this?
It's none of your darn business. And if you say another thing, I'll take you and I mean it.
No! No! Give me that coat! Give me, it's my father gave me that! You did it!
Arguments about the
You have no
advisability
right!
of selling a fur coat.
No!
I've spoken with Mrs. Von Dunn about how selfish it is of her to hold on to it while people are out there in desperate need of clothing. Anyway, it should fetch a nice price. And if you can find any cigarettes for me, any kind will do. I'm not particular.
It's terribly difficult to get them, Mr. Bonbon, but I'll try. Goodbye.
No!
Are you sure you won't have some cake, Mr. Crawler?
I better not.
Are you still feeling poorly? What did the doctor say?
I haven't been to him.
Now, Mr. Crawler.
Well, it's not that I haven't tried, but it's so hard to get in to see a doctor these days. They're so busy. But after a few weeks, I finally got one on the telephone. And I said to him, I'd like an appointment. I'm not feeling very well. And you know what the doctor said to me over the telephone? Stick out your tongue. Oh, I have some contacts here I'd like to go over with you.
Of course.
If we could go downstairs in the office. Please forgive us. I'll only keep them a minute.
What's happened? Something's happened, hasn't it, Mr. Crawler?
No. I just need your father's advice.
No, something's gone wrong. I know it.
If it's something that concerns us, it's best that we discuss it here.
But the children.
Whatever they would imagine could be worse than any reality.
It's a man in the storeroom. I don't know if you remember him or not. Carl, about 50, heavy-set, nearsighted. He came to work just before you left.
He was from Utrecht.
That's the man, yes. Well, a couple of weeks ago, he came into the storeroom and closed the door behind him. And he says to me, "How's Mr. Frank? What do you hear from Mr. Frank?" Well, I told him that the last I heard was a rumor that you were in Switzerland. And he said that he had heard that rumor too. But he thought maybe I knew something more. I didn't think anything of it until yesterday. He came in, brought some invoices for me to look at, and while I'm glancing through the invoices, I look up and he's staring at the bookcase. The bookcase that hides your door. And he says to me, "I thought I remember a door being there, a door that goes up to the loft." And then he asked me for more money. 20 guilders more a week.
A blackmail!
20 guilders. Very modest blackmail.
Oh, that's just the beginning.
You know what I think? He's the thief that was down there that night. That's how he knows we're up here.
How was it left? What was said?
I told him I had to think about it. What do I do? Should I pay him the money? Should I take a chance on firing him? I don't know.
For God's sakes, don't fire him. Keep him here. Pay him what he asks. You can keep your eye on him.
How much are they paying these days? Is it even that much that he's asking?
Well, he could get that much in a war plant, but this isn't a war plant. Now, mind you, I don't know if he really knows or if he doesn't know.
Offer him half. Then we'll soon find out if it's blackmail or not.
And if it is, we've got to pay it, haven't we? We've got to pay whatever he asks.
We will discuss that when the time comes.
This may all be my imagination. You get to a point these days where you suspect everyone and everything, again and again, on some simple look or a word.
Telephone!
Oh,
What does that mean?
that's
The
my-
telephone ringing on a holiday!
That's my wife. I told her that I had some papers to sign here at the office and for her to call me here when she got out of church. I'll offer him half then. Goodbye. We'll hope for the best.
your son to thank for this. Oh, smashing through that light.
Sometimes I wish the end would come, whatever it is.
Largo!
Well, then at least we would know where we were.
You should be ashamed of yourself talking that way. Think how lucky we are. Think of the thousands dying in the war every day. Think of the people in the concentration camps. What's the good of that? What's the good of thinking of misery when you're already miserable? That's stupid. Come on. We're young. Margo, Peter, and I. You grown-ups have had your chance, but if we begin thinking of all the horror in the world, we're lost. We're trying to hold on to some kind of ideals, but everything, ideals, hopes, everything are being destroyed. Now on. We worked around when all this started, so don't try to take it out on us. On.
She talks as if we started this war. Did we start this war?
She left her cake. We left this.
Thanks.
I thought you were fine just now. You know just how to talk to them. You know just how to say it. I'm no good. I can never think, especially when I'm mad. That Doosel, what he said about Mushi, about someone eating him, all I could think was, I wanted to hit him. I wanted to give him such that he, and that's the way I used to do things at school. That's the way, but here, an old man like that, it wouldn't be so good.
You're making a big mistake about me. I do it all wrong. I say too much. I go too far. I hurt people's feelings.
I think you're just fine. What I mean is, without you here, I don't know. What I want to say is that
You mean it?
I said it, didn't I?
Thank you, Peter.
You've got quite a collection.
Would you like some? You could have some for your room. Heaven knows you spend enough time in there doing heaven knows what.
It's easier. A fight starts or an argument, and I just duck in there.
You're lucky having a room to go to. His lordship is always in here. I hardly ever get a minute alone. When they start in on me, I can't hide away. I have to stand there and take it.
Well, you gave some of it back just now.
I get so mad. They form their opinions about everything, but we're still trying to figure it out. We have problems here that no other people our age have ever faced, and just as you think you're starting to figure something out, something else comes along, and bang, you have to start all over again.
At least you've got someone you can talk to.
Not really. Mother, I never discuss anything serious with her. She doesn't understand. Father's all right. We can discuss everything. Everything but one thing, Mother. He simply won't talk about her. I don't think you can be really intimate with someone if he holds something back, do you?
I think your father's fine.
Oh, he is, Peter, he is, but he's the only one that's given me the feeling that I have any sense. But after all, nothing can take the place of school and friends your age, or near your age. Can it?
I suppose you miss your friends and all.
It isn't just, but isn't it funny? You and I, here we've been seeing each other every minute for almost the last year and a half, and this is the first time we've ever really talked. It helps to have someone to talk to, don't you think? Helps to let off steam.
Well, anytime you want to let off some steam, you could come into my room.
I can get up an awful lot of steam. You'll have to be careful how you say that.
It's all right with me.
Do you mean it?
I said it, didn't I?
We've had bad news. The people from whom Meep got our ration books have been arrested. So we have had to cut down on our food. Our stomachs are so empty that they rumble and make strange noises, all in different keys. Mr. Von Don's is deep and low like a bass fiddle. Mine is high, whistling like a flute. It only needs Toscanini to raise his baton and we'd be off in the ride of the Valkyries. Monday, the 6th of March, 1944. Mr. Crawler is in the hospital. It seems he has ulcers. Pim says we are his ulcers. Meep has to run the business and us too. The Americans have landed on the southern tip of Italy. Father looks for a quick finish to the war. Mr. Dussel is waiting every day for the warehouse man to demand more money. Have I been skipping too much from one subject to another? I can't help it. I feel that spring is coming. I feel it in my whole body and soul. I feel utterly confused. I am longing, so longing for everything, for friends, for someone to talk to, someone who understands, someone young who feels as I do.
No, Mr. Dussel, I'm not ready yet. There, how's that?
Fine.
You didn't even look.
Of course I did. It's fine.
Margot, tell me, am I terribly ugly?
Oh, on, stop pushing.
No, tell me.
Of course you're not. You've got good eyes and a lot of animation.
A little vague, aren't you?
May I come in? Come in, Mother. Mr. Dussel's impatient to get in here.
Heavens, he takes the room for himself the entire day.
On, dear, you're not going in there again tonight to see Peter, are you?
Well, that is my intention.
But you've already spent a great deal of time in there again today.
I was in there exactly twice. Once to get the dictionary, and then 3/4 of an hour before supper.
Aren't you afraid you're disturbing him?
Mother, I have some intuition.
Then I ask you this much, On. Don't shut the door when you go in.
You sound like Mrs. Von Don.
No, I don't mean to suggest anything wrong. I only wish you wouldn't expose yourself to criticism, that you wouldn't give Mrs. Von Don an opportunity to be unpleasant.
Mrs. Von Don doesn't need an opportunity to be unpleasant.
We're all on edge here, worried about Mr. Crawler. This is one more thing.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I'm not going to let Petronella Von Don spoil our friendship.
Why don't you two talk in the main room? It would save a lot of trouble and it would keep Mother from having to listen to those remarks from Mrs. Von Don and not be able to say a word.
Why doesn't she say anything? I think it's ridiculous to take it and take it.
You don't understand Mother at all, do you? She can't talk back. She's not like you. It's just not in her nature to fight back.
Anyway, the one I really worry about is you. I feel awfully guilty about you.
What about?
I mean, every time I go into Pater's room, I have a feeling that I may be hurting you. I know if it were me, I'd be wild. I'd be desperately jealous if it were me.
Well, I'm not.
You don't feel badly? Really? Truly, you're not jealous.
Of course I'm jealous. Jealous that you have something to get up in the morning for, but jealous of you and Pater? No.
Well, maybe there's nothing to be jealous of. Maybe he doesn't even like me. Maybe I'm just taking the place of his cat. Wouldn't you like to come in with us?
I have a book.
Can I please get in my room?
Just a moment, dear Mr. Dussel. Well, here I go to run the gauntlet.
Thank you very much.
My God, look at her. You don't know what good it is to have a son. I never see him. You wouldn't care if I killed myself. Just a minute on. I'd like to have a few words with my son, if that's okay. Now, Peter, I don't want you staying out till all hours tonight. You're a growing boy. You need your rest.
On, hear me? On won't stay late. She's going to bed promptly at 9, aren't you, On?
Yes, Mother, may we go now?
Oh, are you asking me? I didn't know I had anything to say about it.
Listen for the chimes, On, dear.
In my day, it was the boys who called on the girls.
You know how these young people like to feel like they have secrets? Peter's room's the only place they can talk.
Oh, that's not what they called it when I was a girl.
Aren't they terrible? Aren't they impossible, treating us as if we're still in the nursery?
Don't let it bother you. It doesn't bother me.
I suppose you can't really blame them. They think back to what they were like at our age. They don't realize how much more advanced we are. When I think of what wonderful discussions we've had. Oh, I almost forgot. I was going to bring you some more pictures.
Oh, these are fine, thanks.
Oh, but wouldn't you want some more? Meep just brought me some new ones.
Maybe later.
I remember when I got that. I won it. I bet Meep I could eat 5 ice cream cones. We've been playing ping pong. We used to have heavenly times. We would finish up with ice cream at the Delphi or the Oasis, where Jews were allowed, and we'd laugh and joke. There'd always be a lot of boys. I'd like to go back to it for a few days or a week, but I know after that I'd be bored to death. I think more seriously about life now. I want to be a journalist. I love to write. What do you want to do?
I thought I might go off someplace. You know, work on a farm or something. Some job that doesn't take much brains.
You shouldn't talk like that. You've got the most awful inferiority complex.
I know I'm not smart.
That isn't true. You are much better than I am in dozens of things. Like arithmetic and algebra. Well, you're a million times better than I am in algebra. You like Margot, don't you? Right from the start you liked her much better than me.
I don't know.
Oh, it's okay. Everyone feels that way. Margot's so good. She's sweet and bright and beautiful, and I'm not.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, no, I know I'm not. I never have been a beauty, and I never shall be.
I don't agree at all. I think you're pretty.
That's not true.
And another thing, you've changed. From at first, I mean.
I have?
Well, I used to think you were awful noisy.
What do you think now, Peter? How have I changed?
Well, you're quieter.
I'm glad you don't just hate me.
I never said that.
I bet when you get back with your friends, you'll say, what did I ever see in that Mrs. Quack Quack?
That's crazy.
I bet you won't think at all about me when you get back with your friends.
I haven't got any friends.
Peter, of course you do. Everyone has friends.
Not me. I don't want any. I get all right on without them.
But does that mean you'd get along all right without me? I think of myself as your friend.
Well, no. If they were all like you, it'd be different.
Peter, did you ever kiss a girl?
Yes. Once.
That picture's crooked. Was she pretty?
Huh?
The girl you kissed?
I don't know. I was blindfolded. It was at a party. One of those kissing games.
Well, I don't suppose that counts. Wouldn't you say?
Didn't with me.
I've been kissed twice. Once by a man I never met when he picked me up off the ice and I was crying. He kissed me on the cheek. And then another was Mr. Kufli, a friend of father's, when he kissed my hand. You wouldn't say those counted, would you?
I wouldn't say so.
I know almost for certain that Margot would never kiss anyone unless she were engaged to them. I'm sure Mother also never touched a man before she met him, but I don't know. What do you think? Do you think a girl shouldn't kiss someone unless she's engaged to them? It's so hard to think what to do, and here we are with the world falling around our ears, and you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and what do you think?
I suppose it depends on the girl. Some girls, anything they do is wrong, but others, well, it wouldn't be so wrong with them. I've always thought when two people are...
9 o'clock. I have to go.
That's right.
Good night.
You won't let them stop you from coming?
No. Sometime I might bring my diary. There's so much in it that I want to share with you. There's a lot about you.
What kind of things?
Well, I wouldn't want you to read some of it. I thought you were a nothing just the way you thought about me.
Did you change your mind? The way I changed my mind about you?
Well, you'll see.
By this time, we all know each other so well that if anyone starts to tell a story, the rest can finish it for him. We're having to cut down still further on our meals. What makes it worse, the rats have been at work again. They've carried off some of our precious food. Even Mr. Dussel wishes now that Mushi was here. Thursday, the 20th of April, 1944. Invasion fever is mounting every day. Meep tells us that people outside talk of nothing else. For myself, life has become much more pleasant. I often go to Pater's room after supper. Oh, don't think I'm in love, because I'm not. But it does make life more bearable to have someone with whom you can exchange views. No more tonight. P.S. I must be honest. I must confess that I actually live for the next meeting. Is there anything lovelier than to sit under the skylight and feel the sun on your cheeks and have a darling boy in your arms? I admit now that I'm glad the Von Dons had a son and not a daughter. I've outgrown another dress, that's the third. I'm having to wear Margot's clothes after all. I'm working hard on my French, and am now reading La Belle Nivernais.
What is it? What's happening?
You give me that! Give me that! Let him go! Thief! Let's go!
What's happening? The bread! He's stealing the bread!
All this time it was you! And we thought it was the rats!
Mr. Von Don, how could you?
I'm hungry.
We're all of us hungry! I see the children getting thinner and thinner! They're so hungry, and your own son, Peter, I hear him moan in his sleep, he's so hungry! And you come in the middle of the night and steal food that should go to them! To the children!
He needs more food than the rest of us. He's a big man.
And
He's
you-
used to more.
You're a mother, and you're worse than he is! You sacrificed your own child to this... Oh, don't think I haven't seen you! Always saving the choicest bits for him. I watched you day after day, but not anymore! Not after this! No, I want him to go! I want him to get out of here!
Out of here.
That's...
What do you mean?
I mean just that! Take your things and get out!
Edith, you are speaking in anger. You cannot mean what you say.
I mean just that!
For 2 years, we have lived here in peace. All of us. Are we going to throw that all away now? I know that this will never happen again. Will it?
No.
He steals again! He steals once, he'll steal again!
I've never seen you like this. All right. It's all right. Listen, no one's going anywhere. Edith, I need you to take a breath.
No more talk! I want them to leave!
You would put us out on the street?
There are other hiding places!
The closet? A cellar? I know, but we haven't the money even for that.
I'll give you money! Right out of my pocket! I'll give it gladly!
Mr. Frank, you said that you would never forget what my husband did for you when you came to Amsterdam. You said you could never repay him.
If my husband had any obligation to you, he's paid it over and over!
Edith, please, take a breath. Listen, we are going to be fine. We don't need the Nazis to destroy us, do we? We are doing fine just destroying ourselves.
Give this to me. She'll find you a hiding place. No, Mother, you're not throwing Pater out. Pater hasn't done anything. He'll stay, of course. When I say the children, I mean Pater too.
No, I'd have to go if Father goes.
He's no father to you, that man. He doesn't know what it means to be a father.
No, it wouldn't feel right. I couldn't stay.
No, Peter! Mother, please, they can have my food. I don't care about it. Only don't send them away. Please, it'll be daylight soon. They'll be caught.
Please, Mother. They're not going now. They'll stay until Meat finds them a hiding place. But there is one thing I insist on. He must never come down here again. He must never come down where the food is stored. We'll divide what we have, an equal share for each. You can cook it here and bring it up to him.
Oh no, we haven't sunk so far that we're willing to fight over a handful of rotten potatoes.
Mrs. Frank, Mr. Frank, Margot,
There would have been plenty for all of us if you hadn't been
It's
up
me.
here.
At this hour? It must be trouble.
I beg you, do not let her see a thing like this.
Stop it.
You're keeping all the big ones for yourself. Look at that one. And that one there, look at the size of
Mr.
it.
Frank.
Stop it. Most wonderful news. The invasion has begun. Did you hear that, everybody? Did you hear what I said? The invasion has begun. I began early this morning. On the radio, the BBC. They said they landed on the coast of Normandy.
The British?
British, Americans, French, Dutch, Poles, Norwegians, all of them, more than 4,000 shots. And General Eisenhower, D-Day they call it.
It's finally happening.
I have to go tell Mr. Crawler. This will be better than any blood transfusion.
Oh, please, Normandy, did you say which part of Normandy?
Normandy, that's all I know. I'll be up the minute I know more.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Hody, what is it? Hody,
Please,
what's wrong?
I'm so ashamed. Oh, for God's sakes.
Hody,
It
don't.
doesn't matter now.
Didn't you hear what Meep said? The invasion. We're going to be liberated.
Stealing bread from children.
We've all done things we're ashamed of. Just look at me. The way I treated Mother, so mean and horrid.
Not like me. No one's as bad as me. Oh, stop. Let's be happy now.
Here, I say, I agree. Let's have a toast. To the liberation. Here. Ohio.
Ohio.
Edith.
When I think of the terrible things I said.
No. You were right.
That I should speak to you that way. Our friends, our guests.
Oh, stop it. You're spoiling the whole invasion.
We're all in much better spirits these days. There's still excellent news of the invasion. The best part about it is that I have a feeling that friends are coming. Who knows, maybe I'll be back in school by fall. The joke is on us. The warehouse man doesn't know a thing, and we are paying him all that money. Wednesday, the 2nd of July, 1944. The invasion seems temporarily to be bogged down. Mr. Crawler has to have an operation, which looks bad. The Gestapo have found the radio that was stolen. Mr. Dussel says they'll trace it back and back to the thief, and then it's just a matter of time till they get to us. Everyone is low. Even poor Pim can't raise their spirits. I have often been downcast myself, but never in despair. I can shake off everything if I write. And that is the great question. Will I ever be able to write well? I want to so much. I want to go on living even after my death. Another birthday has gone by, so now I am 15. Already I know what I want. I have a goal, an opinion.
There it is again, Mr. Frank. Do you hear the telephone?
Yes, I hear it.
But this is the third time, Mr. Frank. The third time in quick succession. It's a signal. I tell you, it's Meep. She hasn't been able to come to us, and she's trying to get to us. She's trying to warn us of something.
Please.
You're wasting your breath. Something has happened, Mr. Frank. 3 days and Meep has not been back to see us. And today, not a man came into work.
She never telephoned us.
Mr. Crawler is dead. I tell you, it's the only explanation. He's died, and they're closing down the building, and Meep is trying to warn us.
Perhaps it's Sunday. Maybe we lost track of the days.
You with the diary. What date is it?
I don't lose track of the days. I know exactly what day it is. It's Friday, August 4th. And not a man at work. I tell you, Mr. Crawler is dead. Please, answer the phone. I beg you. No. You don't have to. You don't have to talk. Just pick it up. Listen. See if it's me.
No,
Please, Mr. Frank. I beg of you.
I've told you no. I will do no such thing that might alert someone that we are in the building.
Mr. Frank's right. Oh, no need to tell us whose side you're on. I'm going down. It's too late. So, we just hold our breaths until we die.
I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I will kill myself.
Will you
I
shut
will kill
up?
myself. I think you want me to kill myself. I think you'd be happy if I were dead.
Now, whose fault is it that we're up here in the first place? If we had left when I wanted to, we would be safe in America or Switzerland. But no, you had to stick around for your precious things. You couldn't possibly leave your precious furniture.
Don't touch me.
Look, Peter, the sky. Aren't the clouds beautiful? What a lovely, lovely day. You know what I do when it seems as if I couldn't stand being cooped up for one more minute? I think myself out. I think myself on a walk in the park where I used to go with Kim, where the daffodils and the crocus and the violets used to grow down the slopes. But do you know what the best part is about thinking yourself out? You can have it any way you like. You can have the roses and the violets and the chrysanthemums all blooming at the same time. It's funny, I used to take it all for granted, and now I've gone crazy about everything to do with nature. Haven't you?
I've just gone crazy. I think if something doesn't happen soon, I mean, if we don't get out of here, I can't stand much more of it.
I wish you had a religion, Peter.
No thanks, not me.
I don't mean you have to be orthodox or believe in heaven or hell and purgatory and things, but just something, to believe in something. When I think of all that's out there, the trees and the flowers and the seagulls, when I think of the dearness of you, Peter, and the goodness of people we know, Mr. Crawler, Meep, Dirk, the vegetable man, all risking their lives for us every day. When I think of these good things, I'm not afraid anymore. I find myself and God.
That's fine. But when I start to think, I get mad. Look at us, hiding out here for 2 years, trapped here, like, just waiting for us, waiting for them to come and get us, and all for what?
I know it's terrible trying to have any faith when people are doing such horrible... But do you know what I sometimes think? I think the world might be going through a phase, the way I was with Mother. It'll pass, maybe not for hundreds of years, but someday I still believe, in spite of everything, that people are really good at heart.
That doesn't make me feel any better.
Peter, if only you would look at it as part of a great pattern. We are just a little minute into life. Look at us, going at each other like a couple of stupid grown-ups. Look at the sky now. Isn't it lovely? Someday, when we're outside again,
Oh, yes. I'm through this. Out.
2 years. We have lived in fear. Now we can live in hope.
And so it seems our stay here is over. They are waiting for us now, They've allowed us 5 minutes to get our things. We can each take a bag and whatever it will hold of clothing. Nothing else. So, dear diary, that means I must leave you behind. Goodbye for a while. P.S. Please, please, Meep or Mr. Crawler or anyone else, if you should find this diary, will you please keep it safe for me? Because someday, I hope.
No more.
I had gone to the country to find food. When I got back, the block was surrounded by police.
We made it our business to find out how they knew it was the thief who told them.
You know, it sounds funny to say that someone could have fun in a concentration camp. But she did have fun at that first camp that we were at in Holland. After being locked up here for 2 years, she could be out in the sunshine and the fresh air that she loved.
A little more?
Yes, please. The news of the war was good. The British and the Americans were sweeping through France. We were sure that we would be rescued in time. In September, they told us that we were going to be shipped to Poland. The men to one camp and the women to another. I went to Auschwitz, and they went to Belsen. In January, we were freed, those of us who were still alive, and they put us on a train, and the war wasn't yet over, so we had to take a very long time and behind the lines where we could be safe. Every time we stopped, we would get out, and we would go from group to group, asking, where were you? Were you at Buchenwald, at Mauthausen, at Belsen? Did you know my wife, my daughter, my cousin? That is how I found out about my wife's death. And Margot, and Peter, the Fondant, and Deuce. But I still hope. Yesterday, I went to Rotterdam. I'd heard of a woman there who had been in Belsen with Anne. I now know.
In spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart.
She puts me to shame.